So, learners, in the previous part, we have understood of agriculture, how agriculture of Maharashtra has problems and how these problems are dealt with, right? Now, in this particular section, we are going to understand about industry and how industries were, a survey was conducted and how that survey helped to understand the issues with industries, and based on this, what measures were taken. So let's see, what first of all do you understand with industry? Your industry would be basically the manufacturing industry. So where industrialization we are talking about, it is making the products. We are not talking about service industry, right? Here we are mainly talking about the manufacturing sector, making products, right, from raw material to the finished stage. Like suppose you have a product like fruits and you have to make fruit jam from it, so jam will be the manufactured product. Okay, so this is what we are talking about here, where an annual survey of industries was undertaken in the year 1617. Again, we are talking about that survey. And what the data was given was that Maharashtra was on the topmost development state in that particular time zone of positions for industrial growth. So, industrial growth was on the peak. Then, NVA, that is the net value added, was also about 18%, which was a huge contribution to the entire country. And basically, foreign direct investors were quite interested in coming to Maharashtra. So, this is a very important thing because foreign direct investment, once it flows into that particular region, it is basically going to create development. And if Maharashtra was the first choice of many people, many foreign investors at that point of time, which means they found some ease of business, some better infrastructure than other states of India, and so on. Or they had the skilled labor force, which was easily available in Maharashtra as compared to states like Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, and other such states. Okay. Now, FDI inflows in Maharashtra increased in the year 2000 by which was 6 lakhs 11,760 crores. This was the foreign direct investment, which is nearly 31% of India's inflow, which is a huge value. So 31%, one third of almost one third of India's foreign direct investment had come to Maharashtra. Now scenarios are changing, things are turning around, and there are other states also which are gaining importance. And probability is that Gujarat could be the next topmost state for foreign direct investment. Now, in this survey, they also undertook what were the general problems in industries. Okay, the first problem that was noticed was delay in government procedures. Of course, even if you want a registration of your organization, if you want to take certain licenses, then it's a big problem because you have a lengthy process and a lot of procedures. So, like we often say, from one office to another, from one desk to another, a person who wants to start business does not have the ease. He moves from table to table, and that creates a big problem. And it's like a very much kind of discouragement to start a new business. Okay, then lack of opportunities for skill development. So maybe I want to work in a company but I'm not skilled, I want to develop my skill for that purpose, but there is no center where I can upgrade myself. So I'm enthusiastic about getting a job, I'm enthusiastic about developing my skills, but I'm not getting somebody to teach them to me. This was the problem. Then lack of updated technology. So yes, world is moving ahead, but when it comes to industries of Maharashtra, they did not have the latest technology. Then it was also noticed there were lack of infrastructure facilities. So if you're talking of foreign investors, they would definitely want good infrastructure facilities in a particular state where they're going to function. And if they don't get it, they will have a problem in establishing their industries. Not just foreign investors, even local industries will find it difficult. So if you don't have proper network of roads, how are you going to transport? If you don't have proper water supply, electricity supply, which are the basis of industries, if that is not available, again there will be problems. So basic infrastructure facilities were lacking. So what industries needed, it was not provided. Then if a new entrepreneur wants to start his business, his or her business, it was something where they did not have that motivation. They didn't get easy loans. They were probably harassed when they went to acquire properties. They didn't get the easy access to government authorities for the purpose of guiding them. So there were many issues which were ongoing, because of which new entrepreneurs, though they had ideas, they did not get the benefit of encouragement from the government side. Then sixth one was lack of development programs. As I told you, there should be some skill development. There should be benefits for the purpose of developing that industry. There should be discussions groups where you can have a pro and con discussion happening, but this was not given. And finally, this development programs should be provided from the government's end, but they were not. Then last one in this general problems in the industrial sector, was regional imbalances. Now, one region, like suppose if you're talking of Mumbai area, Mumbai was at the peak of infrastructure, benefits, quick access, everything, good manpower. But if you're talking of other smaller towns, let's say suppose if you're talking of a region like Satara, let's say, so they didn't have that much of the benefit. So this is where regional imbalances were there, and because of which overcrowding also takes place in urban regions, which are few cities in this entire state. Which means again the people are going to suffer because they don't have the infrastructure needed to occupy these many people in that area. So how did the government cope up with this particular problem area that was happening in the state of Maharashtra? The first thing they did was they started a single window clearance system, right? So a cell was created which had single window clearances for all the prospective and existing investors. So ease of kind of procedural formalities, things which you need, all that whenever you're going for investment in the state of Maharashtra, you had a single window where all the registrations, everything was done together. Maharashtra Industry Trade and Investment Facilitation Center, which was also called as Maitri, friendship, basically friendly, was started off, and for in this gave the information about investment processes. So if you want to start a business in Maharashtra, how to do it, what is the procedure, what are the licenses, everything was helped out with this Maitri. Then of course, to encourage exports, they had awards. Okay, export performance awards were basically started off. Then rental space subsidies. So if you want to rent out certain facilities, and if you're maybe a new investor, new person to the state, then you would get the subsidy. So government pays part of the rent and you pay part of the rent. Maybe for small industries, for a starting phase of maybe 6 months, 1 year, this scheme was started. And this and they were also encouraged to participate in international exhibitions. So basically, to sell the products abroad, you need that access, you need the connection, which may happen at these international exhibitions. Then, fourth thing they took up was creation of SEZ, which is a very important thing, where you are giving a lot of facilities, right from infrastructure to tax subsidies, if you establish your company in the Special Economic Zone (SEZ), which when you talk about SEZs are a beneficial area where it's as good as a export or export it's like a different country, and it's treated up as if other region is selling to them, it's more like an export. So whatever benefits are given to export oriented units, all are clubbed together for that SEZ, and easy formalities are kept for them. And they also had development of small, medium and micro enterprises. Clusters were formed for their purpose of development, and programs were initiated so that they get the benefit. So it was also like MSMEs which was formed, and basically the quick access to loans, quick finances were provided, and so on. So this was how industries were actually surveyed in this region of Maharashtra. So you can understand how industrial surveys are taken up, what are the general problems that industries may face, and how government generally tackles them. Okay. Now, in the next unit, next part of this chapter, we are going to understand about the service sector of Maharashtra. So this is the third pillar, you could say, of this entire contribution of the state's the domestic product. So the combined gross state domestic product, how it is made up of. So agriculture, then industries, and third one in the next part we study is service sector.